Okay, just a couple of quick things you want to look over when you're hosting a meeting. Some things you can do that will make it easier for your participants and also for you. We have three people in this meeting. That is me. And then we have Nola Feathers here. And then we have Golden Dragon. I'm just going to rename this individual. Oh, there it is, Nola Feathers. So if I rename her, now it pops up. Sometimes Zoom does funny things, right? So there's Nola's name. So that's your first thing there. If you don't see a name there, you can always touch on the more buttons that are listed up at the top. This person uh, is showing her video, and so I can choose to pin her video, which means I will put her video large on my screen. And if I'm sharing to Facebook Live, then what's showing on my screen is going to show on Facebook Live. So I could pin her video, and that only happens on my screen. However, when I spotlight her video, everyone's screen in the meeting, Golden Dragon's screen, my screen, and even Nola's screen, is only going to show her video. So when we're speaking with someone, that's the way you can do that. You can spotlight the video, and then everyone will see what's going on. You can kind of take control of their screen that way. Here are the notes where you can just cancel the spotlight video, and then you can switch it back to your gallery view or any other view you want to have. So the view is important when you are a host. The next thing that I think is really important is this participants button. And typically, if you're the meeting host, it's going to say manage participants. I'm not sure what happened. Probably about 6 updates ago, my manage participants went away when I'm hosting meetings. It still does the same thing, so I don't get too irritated about it. When you're in a laptop setting, when you click on that button, it usually is going to dock to the right of your screen there. And if you are hosting a meeting, oh, that's my alarm. Sorry, guys. If you are hosting a meeting, you want to know who is all in your meeting and be able to get to them very quickly. Because if you have lots of people, you don't want this to scroll and scroll and scroll and have to look for people. You can see everybody here in white on the right hand side of the screen. And from here, you have a lot of options. You'll get a lot of drop downs here. You can ask people to start their video. So I'm going to ask Golden, and Golden's going to say, no, I don't want to start my video. And you'll get a little message up there. Golden doesn't feel like starting her video right now. You can make Golden the host or the co-host. And when you do that, Golden can go in now on her participants, and she can change Nola Feller's name. She can do quite a few things. So we're going to correct that typo there with Nola Feathers and take that out. And you see that Nola Feathers' name is changed, and that did not happen on this screen. That happened because Golden is a co-host. You can also have the option of putting people in the waiting room, renaming them. You can also move this out of the way. Mute all. Mute all is a huge function. You need to know how to do that. If you have people that are presenting and everyone else is in the background talking, you want to mute everyone. Zoom does have a new feature now where for the free program, for the free plans, you have got to get their permission to unmute them. I believe on the paid plan, you can just unmute everyone. However, that's a safety feature. I think a lot of people have been complaining if they've muted themselves and they're having an outside conversation during your meeting, they don't want to automatically be unmuted, and now you're hearing all of their private conversations that they thought were private. And so I actually think that's a good fix that they put in. So sometimes this unmute all button will not work. There are just some participants you won't be able to unmute, and that's because they have to give you permission. So lots of things happen in this area here. I have a little more button here, and so you'll see that you can mute people. You can change any of these. Now, Zoom now allows you to lock your meeting or enable a waiting room within your meeting. Before, that did not used to be the case. If you had to have that set up on the settings side. This play and enter chime is also a good thing to have enacted. If you have that as the host or the co-host, you'll hear a ding dong like a doorbell when people come into the meeting. That's a good thing because you won't be necessarily scrolling through all the screens, and you will not know when someone else is entering the meeting. Typically, it's good for a host to enter their meeting well before the meeting, sometimes 15, 20, 30 minutes, depending on the size of the meeting, like this one, an hour early to help everyone get situated, do some pre training things. It could be silent, you can just be playing some music, things like that, and then you'll know. Once things start, some people choose to lock meetings. I don't like to lock people out of meetings, regardless of whether or not they're paid or it's free. But that's a personal preference, so you can choose to do it that way also. But I think the play and enter and exit chime is very important as a host to know when people are leaving your meeting and coming into your meeting. Another thing I want you to look at here is this security badge. If you don't see a security badge on your account, that means that you one joined this without creating an account, and so you don't have an actual Zoom account. You are joining as a non-account holder, so you would not see it there. If you did create an account already, you likely don't have the Zoom 5.0, which is one of their newest apps that they put out. So they'll upgrade the apps all the time. The security app is again internal to the meeting. You can lock, enable waiting. You can stop people from sharing their screen instantly. And that's a really good one because, as you know, I've heard on the news and whatnot, a lot of people are Zoom bombing. And so they're worried about all that kind of stuff now. So if somebody gets into your meeting and just starts sharing their screen, as the host, you can immediately stop their screen share. You can chat with people, let them rename, remove people, and all of that. So just some great features to look at when you're hosting a meeting.